got larger social appreciation. It was possible at a time, in spite of all kinds of difficulties and the kinds of regimes that we had. In fairness, it should be said, there was no political interference in whatever we were trying to do in the university either. In fact, we were talking about being proud of having series of vice chancellors we had who never came in the way of the kind of freedom that we have academically, and in fact continued to manage on our own affairs. It is very distressing to hear that there is a police and then judiciary involved in student affairs. We managed it. There must have been some cases. But I think what has happened for the last 2 years, there has been a change in the regime which doesn't seem to appreciate the values for which the universities stand. They don't seem to understand that there is a kind of basic autonomy where I think you could lead an intellectual life which would contribute to that of, let's say, a creative kind of promotion of social transformation. It doesn't seem to also think that we have inherited a society which was terribly oppressive. 60, 70 years of whatever we tried to mend, not much has been done. If you look at the youth, even the kind of lines that we are drawing about Dalit, non-Dalit, Muslim, even to this day, if you look at the youth of 15 to 24 years, look at, let's say, the proportion of this youth in the universities, only 5% of Dalit youth, only 5% of what is referred to as upper caste Muslims are in the universities, where the same upper caste of the so-called Hindu community, almost one-fifth, let's say 20% are there. This is atrocious kind of a gap that continues. What little has been done to close this gap doesn't seem to appear as a process which has been with lots of sensitivity and then the kind of a concern in this transformation, because now there are great kind of awareness improving through that of our own universities, trying to, let's say, talk in terms of what kind of society we would like to have. We repeatedly talk in terms of a democratic process. And then if that were to be realized, the basic institutions which are supposed to play a transformative role, like the universities, have to be appreciated in their role in this kind of, let's say, effort, trying to, let's say, provide a place for those who have been for generations denied of fairness, express themselves. Sometimes it may spill over whatever you call conventional kind of, let's say, limits. Look at them in fairness as a process of transformation, but that has ended. Therefore, I think when it comes to the question of this last 2 years, and particularly last 1 year within the university, last 2 years of the country as a whole, the kind of happenings is very disturbing, because there is some effort to suppress this transformative process, suppress the aspirations, suppress a movement towards that of whatever we visualized as a fair society to which perhaps our own generation would be. When I refer to that of young youth, let's say, having this kind of a distance, we have to see this in a context where they will be there for 40 years. If you deny them something now, you deny this kind of an opportunity and continue to live with that kind of inequality. To bridge this gap, it may take another 50 years if you do in all fairness. But that's what perhaps in a larger sense, when we talk in terms of ROHITH, it becomes, although the real issue is that of, let's say, doing justice in trying to bring whoever is responsible for this kind of a situation that forces students, I mean in this case one student, to book and then of course make the state act. But it's much larger issue. In fact, in that sense, this particular issue and the particular institution serves as something which gives us a concern that this is a larger issue in the present kind of a regime we have, and of course the present kind of, let's say, whoever heads that institution. This must change, and this must change only through that of action by the state in this case, and mobilization by perhaps the entire community. In fact, we are amazed to hear that there is supposed to be day in and day out criticism of intellectuals. I am surprised. There are no intellectuals in those people who are supposed to be governing. It's a tragedy of the kind of a regime that we have inherited, and therefore it must change in a larger sense. I think as a past teacher in that university, still with a lot of youngsters who are there as continuing association with that institution, I'm with all of you who are fighting this struggle, trying to be part of it, and maybe as others are trying to say, it should be seen much larger issue, and therefore I'm with you.